Hello, everyone. Well, first off, let me give you a brief synopsis of myself. I have 3 college degrees. I have a degree in finance, I have a degree in accounting, and I also have a degree in social science. I also have a certificate as an intelligence analyst. I say again, I have a certificate as an intelligence analyst. All degrees are from research institutions. So what I'm going to do right now is highlight the psyche of a Pretendian. Now, for those who are unaware, Pretendians are black people, African Americans, who claim they are not African and that they are indigenous to America, when there's absolutely no evidence to support this claim. Many of these Pretendians either fall in various categories of charlatanism. One is, of course, believing that they're indigenous to America and that they are Native American. So they will falsely claim Native American tribes. The other are the Moorish sovereign citizen, who believes that they are Moors that migrated to America and that they are also Native American, which we all know Native Americans have their own religion and Islam is not that religion, right? Many of these Moorish sovereign citizens believe that Moors are Native American, when anyone who has any inkling of knowledge when it comes to world history know that the term Moor is a European and Latin word, and the word is used to describe Muslims, followers of Muhammad, Islam, not Native Americans. And then you have these black Hebrew Israelites who believe that West African slaves are the real Hebrews. We know that's false. West Africans have their own religions and own gods that date back thousands and upon thousands of years that actually predate Judaism. Judaism is only around 3,500 years old, roughly 3,300 years old. It's not old. It's not an old religion. Spirituality is older. And of course, the Egyptian and Canaanite gods are way older. But I digress. Then we have these, we went over the Moors. We went over the Pretendian Indians and the fake Hebrew Israelites. And then we have these individuals who claim that they're Olmec, which we know that Olmec share the same DNA as the Mesoamericans that live today. The Maya, the Aztec, all the Mesoamerican and Andean populations, right? Because of a man named Ivan Sertima, who was a con artist and a grifter, who had no education in anthropology or archaeology or genealogy, wrote a book to pretty much finance himself and his education. Basically just telling black people what they want to hear, which is a fallacy of history. The Olmec were not black. The Olmec are the same Mesoamericans that live there today. There's no evidence of Olmec being African or black. Not a single bit of evidence, no DNA evidence. There's no such evidence of a black indigenous person in America. What is the name of the tribe? What is the name of the group? Where are the burial mounds? What is the language? What is the culture? There is none. Absolutely none. Native Americans were the first hominins in the Americas. A lot of you Pretendians don't even know what a hominin is. Hominins are the first bipedal creatures to evolve on this planet, which date back 3 million years. 3 million years. And they were not Homo sapiens. All Homo sapiens are mutations of that first hominin, that first bipedal creature related to the apes, but they're not apes and they're not monkeys. They are primates. Bipedal primates. That's what we descend from, that originated in East Africa. Bipedal primates. So when you keep saying that these people are hybrids or these people are mutations, no, all Homo sapiens are mutations. All Homo sapiens. All Homo sapiens are mutations of the first hominin that originated 3 million years ago from East Africa. Now, let me get into it regarding the psyche of a Pretendian. First, we will go into what is known as emotional reasoning, a typical psychological aspect of a Pretendian or a charlatan. Emotional reasoning is a cognitive distortion where feelings are treated as facts, even when objective evidence contradicts them. Now, this is what a lot of Pretendians suffer from because they follow grifters on the internet who present false information where there is no evidence, and they make it sound really good because a lot of these grifters get their education from prison. All the cons that you see, all the scams that you see in this country known as the United States originated from ex-cons and con artists in prison, because none of these individuals want a legitimate job. They want to con you out of your money. A lot of them, they don't want to start a respectable life. They want to get out of prison and continue on their felonious activity. And a lot of it is being a grifter, selling misinformation and promoting cons and misinformation on the internet. The internet has been a tool these days for these grifters and con men. You see them all the time. And it's always naive black people falling for these con artists. Naive and unfortunately low income, mentally ill black people. Because you see a lot of this Pretendian behavior come from people who are from low income households, many who have dropped out of school, many who are in and out of jail, recidivism, in and out of prison, and who lack education. So basically they have this conspiracy theory that the system put them in that position, when that's false. They put them in that position based on their bad decisions in life. You don't drop out of school. You graduate and you find a career. You find a trade. You go to get an advanced education. Then you will get a job because you have the knowledge and the skill to be able to work in that particular job. That's how it works. But these Pretendians and these people, they lack responsibility. They lack responsibility, and that's where the narcissism comes in at. The narcissism and that feeling of entitlement that you see in a lot of the usual suspects and criminals that you see on the internet. When you watch those crime videos, those police body cam videos, we see how they behave now. We see. They are caught in the act, but still they think, oh, what you mess with me for, bruh? Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Those are your typical Pretendians. They will be Pretendians, trust me. Those individuals there. The come on, bruh. Hey, bruh. Come on, bruh. Those are your new age Pretendians. Because they lack responsibility. They feel like they're entitled to everything. and they never amount to anything but being in and out of prison, in and out of jail. But they don't realize they are hurting themselves. But when they realize that their life is pretty much in shambles, that's when they start blaming the system. Oh, the whitey man put me in this predicament. Then they look at themselves in the mirror, and then they were like, they denounce their Africanism. They be like, oh, I'm not African. I'm not black. I'm really Native American. I'm really Moor. I'm really Hebrew. I'm really Olmec. They start claiming these groups out of a false pretense, which goes to the emotional reasoning. Cognitive distortion, where feelings are treated as facts, even when objective evidence contradicts them. Okay. Now let's go to cognitive bias, systematic errors in thinking. Cognitive biases are systematic errors in thinking that can influence judgments and decisions. They are essentially mental shortcuts or heuristics used by the brain to simplify the complex world and make quick decisions. These shortcuts can be helpful, but they can also lead to inaccuracies and deviations from rational thought. This is what a lot of these pretendians suffer from. Inaccuracies and deviations of rational thought. Rational thinking does not exist when it comes to the pretendians. You will present them with concrete, solid evidence. Just look on my TikTok. Look at the comment section. That's why I love when pretendians comment, because they give me evidence to support my claims. You have a mental disorder, pretendian. You have a mental disorder. And I love it when they comment, because they show the world this is what we have to deal with in America. These black people with these delusions. Let me continue. How cognitive biases affect people. Distorted perception of reality. Suboptimal decisions. Difficulty in processing new information. Pretendian classic, when you show the evidence, they reject it immediately because of their biases. Cognitive bias. They reject that information immediately, even though the proof shows that you're not Native American, you're not Hebrew, you're not Olmec, you're not Moorish, you're not any of that, but a descendant of a West African slave or slaves that were brought here, and an admixture of European from the slave master, plus maybe less than 2 or 1% of native indigenous from an ancestor who lived in the 1700s. Yes, a Native American ancestor who lived in the 1700s. If you're lucky to have Native American ancestry, it came from that, not from grandma who lived in the 1950s. It came from an ancestor who most likely lived in the 1700s, and it was 1 out of 100. 1 out of 100 who lived in that period. So let me continue. Impact on social interactions. You cannot talk to a pretendian. Pretendians are so irrational that a basic intellectual conversation will never happen. Have you noticed that when interacting with pretendians? Because they lack education, they are confused individuals, and they are most of them are internet, social media educated. They are meme educated from grifters who post information on social media. Because why? They reject the book. They reject mainstream education or any education from a college or university, but they will accept a meme. Make it make sense. They will accept a meme on the internet. Make it make sense. Well, let me continue to narcissistic personality disorder. This is another example or aspect of a pretendian. Now let me briefly go over this. Overview. Narcissistic personality disorder is a mental health condition in which people have an unreasonably high sense of their own importance. The classic pretendian. Oh, I'm Hebrew, so I'm great. Oh, I'm from the Hebrews. I'm Olmec. I'm from the Olmec. But they never claim West Africa. They never claim their home. Why? Because of the negative stereotypes by the white man and Europeans when it comes to West Africans. So they forget West Africa. No, I don't want to, even though that's what I am. Forget that. I'm gonna claim everybody else. I'm gonna claim other oppressed individuals. That's the crazy part. If anything, claim the white man. Claim the white man. But they claim other oppressed cultures that have been equally oppressed as West Africans, which is the weird part of it. I mean, it's crazy. But they need and seek too much attention and want people to admire them. You see this in the comment section of my TikToks. They always want to comment. They say something that's totally outlandish because they want attention. I want them to keep posting and commenting. I want you because I want the world to see this. I want all the Mesoamericans to see this. Mesoamericans are by the millions in Mexico and Central America and the Andes. Millions. I want all of them to see you in action. I want all the Africans, the 1.6 billion Africans, to see what we have to deal with in America. So please keep commenting and showing your cards, Pretendians. I love it. I want you to keep doing it. Keep commenting. Keep showing us who you are so the world can see this delusion that we have to deal with in America based upon the slave, God, what they call it? I think, what was the lady name? Francis, slave, what is slave disorder? Oh, yeah. Post-traumatic slave disorder. Post-traumatic slave disorder. That's what a lot of pretendians actually suffer from. They are self-hating. They reject their West African heritage. They want to falsely claim people that they're not because of the grandiose of these other individuals' history or other cultures' history. They do not want to be associated with West Africa at all, even though West Africa has a grand history, ancient history. These people are sad, very sad. In fact, we're going to research something real quick. We're going to research something real quick. This is the Nok civilization, an ancient West African culture that existed in what is now Nigeria from 500 BCE to 200 CE, known for their sophisticated terracotta sculptures and early mastery of iron smelting. The Nok civilization is considered one of the earliest known complex societies in sub-Saharan Africa. They don't care about that. They don't even want to know about that. They don't even want to know about the rich history. They'd rather claim Hebrew. Now you can clearly see here 500 BC. Now they want to claim that they're Hebrew Israelites that left Judea. That was 700 AD. Pretendian. That was 700 AD. As you can see here, our ancestors were already prevalent in 500 BC and of course beyond, because we also have evidence that there was culture older than this one. So what are you talking about, Pretendians? Stop with the self-hating. I digress. Now, Narcissistic personality disorder causes problems in many areas of life, such as relationships, work, school, or financial matters. As you can see, the pretendians who are narcissistic, they are the black sheep. They can't get rights. You know, low income status, in and out of prison, addicted to drugs, and always blame the system for their problems. Right here, narcissism, classic narcissism. Now, I will leave the treatment because they need treatment. We know pretendians need psychotherapy, but let's go to the symptoms. Symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder and how severe they are can vary. People with the disorder can have an unreasonably high sense of self-importance, like we see with all pretendians, require constant and excessive admiration. They always want their attention. So they're like, are you mad? Have you noticed that from pretendians when they spread that misinformation? They always say, are you mad? Are you mad? That's classic narcissistic behavior. And I love it. I love to see this behavior in the comment section. So pretendians, please give me my evidence. Please show yourself in the comments. Please do. Feel that they deserve privileges and special treatment. You see it when you watch these body cam videos of people getting arrested. You know, the usual suspects. Come on, bro. Oh, man, I ain't do nothing, bro. What you mess with me for? Oh, we're messing with you because you robbed the store there. We got you on camera. But they feel like they are so entitled that discipline doesn't apply to them. Classic pretendian. And that's why they are in and out of jail, in and out of prison, and they fall for the cons, the grifters, or they become a grifter themselves, you know, because they can't find a job. They don't want to work. They don't want to get education. So they fall for scamming and trying to con people, you know. Expect to be recognized as superior, even without achievements. Classic pretending. We see it all the time. They want to appropriate others' cultures and make it seem like that's them. They achieved that culture. That's their culture, not your culture, sir. Worry about your own culture, which is West African culture, which is a great, wonderful culture. I'm 56.8% Nigerian, and I'm proud because Nigerians, we taking over. Nigerians are taking over. They the most educated. They're making money. I love being Nigerian. I am so proud. And guess what? The fertility rate in Nigeria is like around 6%. So Nigerians are coming, and they're taking over. Nigeria. I love Nigeria, but I love all my West African ancestry, including Nigeria. But Nigerians in America are the most educated, highly knowledgeable, and they're making things happen with no excuses at all. No excuse. I love my Nigerian ancestry, and I'm thankful for it. But I digress. Make achievements and talent seem bigger than they are. Classic narcissist. Be preoccupied with fantasies about success, power, brilliance, beauty, or the perfect mate. You know, some of that is with the fantasy part, deals with pretendians, but you get the picture. Believe they are superior to others and can only spend time with or be understood by equally special people. Yes, they're pretendian. They feel like other pretendians are special. So they feel more comfortable in a group with people who think the same way they do as a pretendian. Anyone who thinks opposite of what they do, they resist. With prejudice or without prejudice, or however you want to put it. But they still resist. They resist the facts. Be critical of and look down on people they feel are not important, like the Native Americans, the real copper-colored Native Americans, the real ones, who've been here for thousands of years, who have a culture, who have a language, who have burial mounds, who have evidence of being here. They look down on them. They look down on West Africans, people my ancestry belongs to, and theirs. They look down on their own ancestry because they are a self-hating people. The Pretendian. Self-hating. Let me continue. Expect special favors and expect other people to do what they want without questioning them. Classic grifter behavior. That's the behavior of a classic grifter and con man. Expect special favors. You know the Jay Morrisons out there who conned all those black people and those real estate scams? Expect special favors and have every excuse in the book for their lies and their con and their grift. Take advantage of others to get what they want. Again, just like what I said, the Jay Morrisons, the Ivan Sertimus, the Dane Callaways, taking advantage of people who lack education, who lack knowledge. The Drew Ali's, all the grifters of society. That's what they do. They prey upon the weak and uneducated, lure them in, steal their money so they'll be on top of the pyramid. Classic long con game. Have an inability or unwillingness to recognize the needs and feelings of others. Narcissists don't care about anybody. We just had, there was a shooting the other day where a cousin, 13-year-old cousin, shot his 8-year-old cousin. While the grandmother was supposed to be looking after these two. The 8-year-old begged for his life, but the cousin shot him anyway with an illegal weapon owned by the grandmother, who is a convicted felon. Yes, both are going to prison. Both were arrested. First degree and second degree murder. Whatever you say it is, but this is what we're talking about, the narcissistic behavior. Having an inability or unwillingness to recognize the needs and feelings of others. Little child begging for his life and he shot him anyway. His own flesh and blood. This classic Pretendian behavior. They don't care about who you are. Just like I posted a video of Martin Luther King, the black Hebrew Israelite who unalived Martin Luther King's mother at a church, in church, while she's playing the organ. This is how ridiculously mentally dysfunctional these Pretendians are. And where they need to be dealt with swiftly. Swiftly. We need to find who they are. That's why I love the comments. Comment, so we know who you are. We know who you are. So please, Pretendians, keep commenting and showing us who you really are. Keep doing it. Because you suffer from a mental disorder. You have a mental disorder and we want to find you. We want to know where you are, who you are. You can easily change and get help. We really want you to get help, but you're going to have to get that help on your own. But I digress. Be envious of others and believe others envy them. No one cares about a Pretendian, but they always think that, why you worry about us for? Worry about your own West Africa. Worry about that. We just trying to help you because you're embarrassing yourself with these delusions. That's all we're doing. Not only you're embarrassing yourself, but you're embarrassing us as African Americans and Black Americans in this country. The whole world's looking at you. Believe it or not. The whole world is looking at you and they're like, what is wrong with these people? But people like us are telling the whole world, no, it's just them. It's not all African Americans. It's a small minority of African Americans who suffer from post-traumatic slave syndrome. They have a mental disorder and they need help now. They need help. Behave in an arrogant way, brag a lot, and come across as conceited. You see those pretendians a lot. You know, the ones on social media, they got the gold and all that in their mouth. And then they come on the lies or whatnot. I'm Choctaw. Look at my grill in my mouth. You know, when a lot of that stuff was stolen or was obtained by illicit means, selling drugs, or just flat out stolen, or conned some elderly person out of their retirement, a scam, and they on there bragging about it. It doesn't count when it's not legitimate. FYI. If you can't get it legitimate, it does not count, because you're going to lose it and be right back to square one again. Insist on having the best of everything. For instance, the best car or office. I gotta admit, sometimes I may fall in that category myself. That'd be my only narcissistic trait. Because sometimes I want the best. When it comes to certain gear or something, or a car, I may want the best. But I think everyone kind of has that tendency of wanting the best. They don't want anything that's mediocre when it comes to a particular piece of gear or a car or some clothing. You want something that's reliable. So that trait, I can say everyone suffers from, you know, which is not a bad trait to have. You want to strive for the best. But this is the crazy part. A lot of narcissists don't have that trait. A lot of them don't want to strive for the best. That's why they drop out of school, lack education, in and out of jail, in and out of prison, and have every excuse in the book. They want to blame the white man. They want to blame the system. I don't believe in that education. Well, let me tell you something. If you don't believe in education, throw your phone in the trash. Because it takes a college education to build a phone. If you don't want an education, and you think, I don't believe in the white man education, throw your TV in the trash. It takes a college degree to be able to manufacture a television and to engineer the specs of a television. Throw your television in the trash. In fact, throw your car in the trash. Throw everything that is technological in the trash. Because it takes a college education to be able to create these things. What you need to do as a pretendian, if you think, I don't want to listen to the whitey man education and all that, what you need to do is just live off the grid and be butt naked. That's what you need to do. Because it takes education to build everything in this world today, from the satellites, college education, cars, roads, buildings. It takes education, like go to school to be able to obtain that knowledge. So sorry. If you don't want that knowledge, that's the reason why you're in the boat that you're in. And you are a pretendian who have a narcissistic trait, suffer from cognitive bias and post-traumatic slave syndrome. Good day.